time, but he said that you bring your own marker.
You have your own marker.
Yeah, I hide them here.
Is there a guy? There's a bunch of them down in the box and the wires.
Can you check the cabinet in front of me, the musalla?
Yeah, I was about to get them out, and he said you bring your own markers, so I didn't. I was about to get them out for you, and he said you bring your own markers.
He's gonna bring his own markers?
No.
You bring your own markers. I would rather.
Nasir
I
said.
bring my own
Nasir
markers?
said.
That's what he said.
No, I should bring. I
No,
already
he
brought.
said he should. He said you usually do. So he.
Yes, I actually do. But I have mine are used, so I'm not sure if they are going to work tonight. Let's see. Inshallah. So let me ask some questions, and whoever answers will get like a cup of tea. If you don't answer, you're gonna go home empty-handed.
Give us a half cup then.
Ready for the questions? Who's ready for any question? The question will be on the topic that we studied last two Mondays, from the past 2 Mondays. You should actually, when I say, "Are you ready for any question?" You should be ready for any question. Any question.
Yup.
Okay, we'll try.
From whatever we studied last time.
Whatever, we'll try.
Okay. Maqsad, ready?
Half ready, yeah.
You're half ready? Okay. Define Hamzatul Qata'. Define.
Hamzatul Qata'. It's cut. You don't read it.
So you said, this is like a hint. Qata' like cut.
Yeah.
When you cut something,
Yeah.
is it clear enough that when you cut something,
Yeah.
when you cut one piece into 2 pieces,
Yeah.
is
That's
it
clear.
is it clear that you see the qata' and very clear?
Yeah.
It's not hidden.
It's not good enough.
So which one is hidden? The Hamzatul Wasl or the qata'? Which one is clear? Which one is hidden? These are my used ones. I'm going to use them.
Which one is clear?
Like, you have like basically, you have a piece, right? You have like something. And you have another piece exactly the same, but it's maqtu'a, divided, qata'. Which one is clear? The qata', the cut, right?
Yeah.
That's just like an indication, that's how you link it to your mind. So this one is clear. You see it, basically, it's not hidden. So that's the qata'. Do you pronounce it? Do you see it? Or it's hidden, you don't even see it?
You pronounce it.
Why did you say you don't pronounce it? You see, you should link that to your mind. Link that. The qata', it's very clear. You see it, you pronounce it. Right? Qata'. When you come all the way to that, oh, qata', you have to stop to think, oh, should I jump or no? It's qata'. That wasn't. That's the hidden one. Okay? So define the hamzat al-qata' again.
It's so clear. You have to read it and then pronounce it.
And do you have to write it down or no?
Yes, you have to write
cases, that's the second
Exception.
portion.
Exception.
Exception. What exception is that? How many exceptions? 3, 4, 5. I'm going to give you options. How many exceptions for Hamzat al-Qat'a? You don't try Hamzat al-Qat'a. 3 or 4 or 5 exceptions. Let's see, Muhammad or Yusuf. How many exceptions for Hamzat al-Qat'a? You don't write Hamzat al-Qat'a. You write it all the time, except in how many exceptions? 3 or 4 or 5? I can't hear you. How many? Help Maqsad. If you don't know, Anup is going to help you. How many exceptions?
No exceptions for Qatar.
What?
Only for Wasil there is an exception.
You said no exceptions for Hamzat al-Qat'a.
Yeah. Always
The
hold on.
You're right. You're right. So you deserve the first cup of tea.
Okay.
So there is no exceptions, Maqsad. Hamzat al-Qat'a. It's Hamzat al-Qat'a. You see, like it's all the time. You read it and write it. You have to pronounce it. No matter what. That's Hamzat al-Qat'a. And how many types of Hamzat al-Qat'a do we have, Dr. Salah?
So,
What are they?
at the beginning we pronounce it.
Huh?
When it comes at the beginning we pronounce when it comes.
No, how many types?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because let me ask Abdul Nasser, how many types of Hamzat al-Qat'a?
Hamzat al-Qat'a.
Yeah. I didn't put on the board last time, I didn't say these are the types of Hamzat al-Qat'a, but I mentioned some Hamzat and I said these are types of Hamzat al-Qat'a. خلاص, you can. Let me ask you, how many types of Hamzat al-Qat'a?
2.
What are they?
Alif.
Huh?
Alif and
al-Qarni. How many? Just I need to know just how many. 5, 6, 3, 2.
2.
How many?
Isn't it 3?
3 or
2.
2?
4 or
1.
2?
You
So,
said 3 cases.
Let's
last
vote.
time.
Who says 2? Who says 3? 4.
4 is because of noun and verb.
What word? You
Separately.
said
Do not say the answer, Bahmat. You spoiled the answer.
Documentary now.
3 cases last time.
3.
3 cases.
The correct answer is 3. What are they?
When Hamza comes before أفعال
فعل.
and لام التعريف
Perfect. No, لام التعريف is وصل.
بس
فعل. همزة القطع. فعل. And
Yes. Yes.
and nouns.
nouns. The third one is
Listen.
that's the nouns.
Verbs, nouns, and
And
Not listen, no.
and nouns is Baki. There's one more. The third one.
Stefan.
it's
The third one that we said it's a word by itself. If you put it there, it doesn't have any meaning. No. A word. A word. It comes between sentences.
Wow.
Also.
الفأتة.
الحروف.
حروف.
You said حروف. Perfect.
It
Yes.
doesn't have to say حروف, you know, like there.
حروف. You said حروف. الحروف. الحروف. إلى. Right? إلى. If you put إلا by itself, it doesn't mean anything. But همزات الحروف. Any حرف. When I say حرف, not alphabets. Not just فا, قاف. No. حروف. إلى, إلا, عن, على. Those are considered حروف. All of them, همزاتهم, the همزات, همزات قطع. No exceptions. Okay, inshallah. And the next question.
Should I gonna be called Sheikh? Like
Yeah.
That's, I'm also, you can go ahead and pass it.
It's not any good reward by down.
خذ الصفحة
تصرفت.
You see, about Adam, like we said, that he's gonna be pulled. You wanted that too before I asked you.
Yeah.
Any question? Huh?
So you get your word, if you give it as a gift without like reward of answer, you don't get more reward.
I have brought up.
Huh?
I brought up حتى إلى. I brought up.
This one?
No, that's what he said. I didn't get it, no. See that?
Anybody got one? Anuf? Anuf and Yusuf? Could you give Anuf and Yusuf? One more.
When we say ala, where's the
I'm just saying these are huruf. So, ila, illa, yes. Not all of them have. You see the team, the team will woke you up. Huh? Let me ask a question that probably I did not focus on, but I mentioned it very quickly. You know Hamzat al-Wasl, it has like the letter Sad or something similar to the Sad, right? What does that mean? Anybody knows? Raise your hand. There's like a Sad, like a little Sad on top of the Hamzat al-Wasl. There's Alif and little Sad. Where did that come from? What is it? What does it mean? Wasl, wow.
Not صعب.
The first letter is wow.
It's Samitum.
همزة الوصل.
I need the exact answer, huh?
You know, from the word silo.
Perfect, mashallah. That's 100%.
From what?
Sila.
Sila.
Sila. It came from the word sila. That's Hamzat al-Wasl. It came from the word sila. And the sukoon, another sign. The sukoon, one of the signs, little ha or kind of ha, right?
Yes.
Where did it come from?
Disconnecting Hamza.
Huh?
Disconnecting Hamza.
I'm talking about, you see the sign of the sukoon. What's the sign of the sukoon? Either like a circle or
Ah.
ha or something, or kha. But it's ha. Yani kha and ha and jim, they were all just one letter basically, right? When we had 15 letters in the beginning. When we added the letters, then we differentiated between ha and kha and jim with the dots. But mainly they are one letter. So that little ha, or like, where did it come from?
From حرك. No حرك.
You see, when you said haraka, that's sukoon.
No حرك.
Haraka. Subhanallah. It came from the word khafif. It means khafif. Khafif, so it's basically khafif.
What does it mean?
Like sukoon khafif. Light sukoon.
Light.
So if you see the circle, it's really huge sukoon. You have to like to pay attention to it. If you see the circle, it comes usually on top of the meme and noon. Pay attention. The other sukoon is khafif. Sukoon khafif.
And the circle is ثقيل.
It's ثقيلة يعني you have to pay attention to differentiate between the other سكون and the سكون of نون ساكنة تنوين and ميم ساكنة.
What's that? Sila.
Huh?
What's Sila?
صلة it's there's like a little صاد on top of the ألف the همزة الوصل. همزة الوصل it's not همزة. You don't write it as a همزة. You write as a همزة, that's همزة القطع. همزة الوصل, you write it as ألف with little صاد on top of it.
What does it mean?
صلة means continuing.
But there's like, it also in Quran there's صاد لام ألف مقصورة صلة and قلة, you know, قاف لام where you
Those are the grammars of the waqf.
the waqf, yeah,
Yes.
it's either you continue or you know better to continue.
Let me ask you then, since you opened this door on yourself, let me just
I didn't
ask
open the door, I went for all of us. We all kind of learn.
Okay, so
Do you want me to move this one?
yes, that's just all this. So basically, علامات الوقف, the signs of waqf. We studied those حلقة الفجر after the Fajr on Saturday after Fajr when we have the practical recitation. So we have Suli, Qili. We have Suli and Qili. The signs of waqf. Just really quick before we jump to Hamzat al-Wasl, because we're not done with Hamzat al-Wasl. We just finished Hamzat al-Qatr. The signs of stops basically. So the first one basically, so let's make it this way. Let's give them percentages, like, you know, from 100%. You stop, for example, 5% and you continue, you have the option to stop 5%, you have the option to continue 95%. That's just an example. So let's start with the Jim. Jim.
50-50.
Jim 50-50. Who says 50-50? Any other opinion? Khalid. 50-50. لا حول ولا قوة.
جواز جواز.
It means jawaz, right? But what's the percentage? Let's start with the easy ones. What does this mean?
100%.
Huh?
100%.
What does it mean?
Don't stop.
That's right. That's 100%. 100%.
No stop.
Stop. Stop. Do not stop or stop.
Continue.
Perfect. No stop. The second one.
لازم.
Hold on. The second one. What is it? What does it mean?
قف.
This one? قف. This means
لازم.
قف.
لا.
Brother Qarni. What does it mean?
وقف لازم.
وقف لازم. قف. وقف لازم.
I think waqf lazim is the other name.
What? No, I'm asking about 5. What is it? قف. وقف لازم. Huh?
Stop.
Any,
Pause without taking a breath and then continue. You have to stop.
No.
Pause and go.
that's good. You brought that up. That's really good.
There's usually easy to see different surahs. It's hard on just like right.
Anybody knows?
Yeah, if you stop on one, you continue
No,
other.
here,
If you stop
here,
on
I'm
another.
right
Talking
here.
about this with okay, I don't.
You jumped all the way to the 8.
So did anybody
Anybody answers this question? يعني he's gonna get nothing, but يعني he's good. It means إقلاب. إقلاب.
Oh yeah.
Flipping.
Hey, club.
See, that's why you have to see it on the ayahs.
Flipping.
Iqlab.
You flip
ba to
the ba
Yeah.
to me.
All right.
Okay? And this one is
Stop.
waqf lazim. You have to stop 100%. Stop. So this 100% continue. This one, think before you say anything.
You can do both, but
90% stop.
Right to stop.
73rd.
Huh?
73rd.
Stop.
Stop. What's the percentage?
90% stop, 10% continue.
Did you say that?
Yes.
That's right.
90% stop, 10%
So
Yes.
90% you stop.
الوقف أولى.
That's right. 10% you continue. Silly.
You have the option
Opposite.
to stop or to continue.
Yeah, 90% continue.
50-50.
الوصل أولى.
10% stop.
الوصل أولى. الوصل أولى.
الوصل أولى. So it's
60.
الوصل أولى.
70.
الوصل أولى. صلي الوصل أولى. You still can stop. You can stop basically.
Yes, right.
Jim. I'm trying to confuse you between Sali and Jim. They're so tricky. They're very close.
Jim 50-50. Sali 70-30.
Okay. Here is the 50-50. 50% and 50%.
There won't be
50-50.
Sali. One will be Sali.
Subhanallah. That's the 50% and 50%.
Yeah, right.
The Jim is the opposite of Qali. I was surprised when I was actually studying those things a long time. How come the Jim Jawaz, it means, then the Sheikh told me, Jawaz al-wasl.
But
Or he said, it could be جواز الوقف ولكن الوصل أولى. جواز الوقف. جائز. الجيم جواز الوقف ولكن الوصل أولى. Here is 90%. Let's make this 90%. 90% continue. And 10% you stop. So it's جائز to stop. جائز. يجوز لك to stop. By 90%, if you continue, it's better. But if you stop, it's jaiz. Why? Because if you stop on the jim, it makes sense. The sentence is completely perfect. The sin,
إغلاق الصاد.
إقلاب الصاد إلى سين. That's a new حكم in Tajweed, brother Abdel Nasser. That's amazing. Sin.
خمس.
Sin, huh? No.
سين ترقيق للصاد.
Do you haven't you seen the scene?
همس.
قالوا من بعثنا من مرقدنا
So you quiet for a little.
هذا ما وعد الرحمن.
stop.
ها؟
To stop.
وقيل من
So وقوف for a second. سكون.
Yeah, without taking breath. Yeah.
Pause for like a few seconds.
سكتة خفيفة.
سكوت. Scene sector. So what's the percentage of the sect? Do you have an option?
No, because if the meaning will change if you continue.
So the sect means like,
You have to stop. يجوز.
what's the difference between the sect and the waqf? Like, what's the difference between sect, like uskut, shut down, or like, be silent and stop?
وقوف أطول. وقوف أطول. You take longer break. وقوف. And you start.
Literally, like in linguistically, what's the difference?
Sukut is like just a pause pause and then continue. The wuquf, you stop. It's
Yeah,
longer.
I'm looking for it. That's good, huh? The sukut, you do not stop your breath. Without stopping your breath. Do not disconnect the breath. وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقٍ. If you stop, وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقٍ. That's not sect. You did not make sect. You see the difference? Just like a little bit. The sect means like you stop without disconnecting the breath. That's the difference between sect and waqf في العربية. الوقف وقيل من راق. You take a breath and continue. But the sect, as you said, it's just like, mashallah, 90% correct. You just do not disconnect the breath. Sect, 100%. This one,
100% stop or continue?
sect, let's stop. Silence. Like, moment of silence.
Right.
They say, do you, moment of silence, you shouldn't take any breath, but we breathe. So the sect in Quran, means like the sect, you stop without taking a breath. Like you take the breath before you say the ayah. When you come to the end of the ayah, وَقِيلَ مَنْ. Do not take any breath, and then you continue. وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقٍ. You know why? There's hikmah. The sector in the Quran, it is like a shocking sector. Every time you see it, قَالُوا مَنْ بَعَثَنَا مِنْ مَرْقَدِنَا هَذَا مَا وَعَدَ الرَّحْمَةِ. It's like a shock, and it comes like as, what's going on? When you're panicking, you don't have time to breathe. Do you breathe? No. You stop everything. Subhanallah, it's...
affect the rules also, because if you continue, then you have to make it gham, and then
That's
change
right.
the meaning. And then it's a marra, let's see, different.
When can you actually continue? Just like if you are reciting for hadr or reviewing, basically, that's fine. But if you are reading qira'ah in the prayer, also in halaqah and tajweed, you have to make the sect. But if you just want to review, وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَاقَ. It's okay, just to review between you and yourself. Al-hadr. So a sect, you stop without disconnecting the breath. This one is...
When you stop.
يجوز الوجه.
يجوز الوجه. What are they?
ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب.
Yeah, what does it mean?
So
What does
you
these
stop
mean?
on the first one, you
Stop on the
continue the
second
second
one.
one. If you skip the continued second one, you stop on. You have to stop on one of them.
That's right. That's right, mashallah. If you stop in the first one, you should continue in the second one. If you stop in the second one, you should continue in the first one, except one location in the Quran. One location in the Quran, Surah Al-Ma'idah. Do you remember that? What is it? قال في سورة المائدة in the story of Musa and Harun قال 40 سنة يتيهون في الأرض فلا تأس على القوم الكافرين. If you want to open that ayah, do you know the number of the ayah? 40 سنة. That's an exception. It's so beautiful. إعجاز قرآني. قال ربي إني لا أملك إلا نفسي وأخي فاغفر لي. Then after that قال 40 سنة يتيهون في الأرض فلا تأس على القوم الفاسقين.
يتيهون في الأرض.
آية? What number?
26.
26 المائدة.
Maida.
Okay, open that if you have your phone with you. Open it. I'm going to tell you why you have to stop at the first one. You have to stop in the first one. You cannot stop in the second one unless you know the meaning. Not the meaning of the ayah. Open it.
Surah Al-Ma'idah?
They are forbidden forever.
Surah Al-Ma'idah.
What ayah?
You said 26. Are you sure
26?
26?
Yes, 26.
126 or
No, just 26.
Yes, two.
قال إنها محرمة عليهم 40
Yeah,
سنة
26.
يتيهون في الأرض.
26.
Al-Ma'idah 26.
26 right here.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
26.
Yeah.
قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة يأتيهون في عرف فيتساقون من الفاسقين.
But there's no sign. There's no sign.
Yes, right there.
Which one?
40 سنة. Oh, you don't have that.
No.
You see, subhanallah. This one basically, it's it has gene.
Yeah.
90%. It has the gene because
Right.
يعني, they make it easy for the public. Because right now when I tell you this exception, you have to stop in the first one. Why? I'm going to tell you why.
They have a tall here too, a sign. You see this sign right here?
أرضي. That's the استعلاء. ها. قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة. Look at that ayah. Can you read it? Read it, Abu Adam.
I don't have it.
You have it on your phone. Read that. Brother Muhammad, raise your voice and read it beautifully. Take off the mask and let's hear your beautiful voice.
Say Maida 26.
Okay? يلا دكتور صلاح. I want you to, yeah.
Bismillah.
Okay?
Qala fight.
In both of them, you destroyed the meaning.
I have G man that taught it.
أبا آدم, recite it through Tajweed.
قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة.
Stop there. What did you say? Translate in English.
He said that indeed it's forbidden for them.
Continue. You said قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة. Continue the translation.
For
It's
40
forbidden.
years.
It's forbidden only for 40
40
years.
years.
Is that true? No. You see, subhanallah. So
Wahabi
if you
is
stop on قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة, if you stop there, it means it's only forbidden for them only for 40 years. So then after that they can't go. It's theirs. You see, you change the meaning completely. That's why people they don't pay attention at this. So it's their land. No. You have to stop at the first one. قال فإنها محرمة عليهم. خلاص. It's forbidden. And then continue. 40 سنة, what do they do?
يتيهون في الأرض.
It lost.
That's the period of the tape of misguidance. They lost in desert for 40 days.
40 years.
For 40 years. 40 سنة يتيهون في الأرض. You see the معنى? It's actually, the معنى agreed with the reality. They got lost for 40 years. And it was محرمة, forbidden for them. So, if you ask me, why do we have this? Why do we have this? Then we can just put there like a stop or something at the first one.
That's how the arc of the Quran, that happens.
Because there's like another ayah connected to it. I'm going to ask you about it because you memorized that. Those people who finished Surah Al-Baqarah. معدودة and معدودات. Remember that? وقالوا أن تمسنا إلا أياما معدودة in Surah Al-Baqarah. And in Surah Al-Imran معدودات. What's the difference? Well, they said the hellfire will only touch us for specific days, limited days. معدودة and معدودات. Those who finish Surah Al-Baqarah. We have some people here who finish Surah Al-Baqarah. Remember that? Did I mention it to you or no?
What's the question?
What's the difference between معدودة and معدودات? وقالوا لن تمسنا إلا أياما معدودة.
معدودة is one, معدودات multiple معدودة. معدودة is one. معدودات is multiple معدودة.
Pay attention at the ayah. وقالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودة. أيام plural. تصف الآية. وقالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودات. Plural. What's the difference? Subhanallah. It's a tricky one. Okay. So this ayah is linked to that.
40
That's
days.
one of the
They think 40 days that they'll be in a hellfire.
You see that? So, look. معدودة من سورة البقرة وقالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودة. معدودة with تاء مربوطة. تاء مربوطة at the end. If you continue, you pronounce it as a ta. If you stop, you say ma'dudah, ha. If you stop, you pronounce it as ha. Which means in the Quran, only limited days, just few days, ma'dudah, just few days, but we don't know how many days, but they're few. Ma'dudah. Few days, but we don't know how many, just few. With the ta مفتوحة وقامت تبصرناه إلا أيام معدودات, it's known, it's specific, they're very specific. وقالوا لن تبصرناه إلا أيام معدودات, the 40 days that we disobeyed Allah when Musa left us, the 40 days. معدودات, they know exactly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will only punish us for 40 days. معدودات. معدودة, you use the ta marbuta in Arabic. If you think it's qaleel, it's a little bit, but you don't know how many, use the ta marbuta. The ta maftuha, if you are so specific. So, the ta maftuha, it's linked to this one. If you know this meaning right now, you know the meaning, you can stop at the second one. If you don't know this meaning, you were not supposed to stop at the second one because you're going to change the meaning. But right now, you know the meaning. 40 days, it's connected to the 40 days they disobeyed Allah when Musa alayhi salam, he went to receive the suhuf. Anyways, next question, inshallah. Next question. For Qarni, Dr. Qarni, ready for the question? Ready? إذا if همزة الوصل comes before همزة قطع ساكنة, همزة وصل comes before همزة قطع ساكنة, what do we do? Anuf.
Or
Right?
there are two. I think there are two ways: substitution with badal, or what is this?
The question is, if همزة الوصل comes before همزة قطع and همزة القطع الساكنة. Who knows the answer?
You substitute with harf mad.
Who knows the answer? Well, let me see. I'm going to pick somebody who doesn't know the answer. Yusuf.
Well, when
How do you know he doesn't know?
He didn't raise his hand.
when the Hamzat al-Wasl comes first and Hamza Qata comes second.
Repeat that. What we do?
First, you kind of remove the Hamzat al-Wasl and then replace it with the oh no, you know?
You see, Muhammad, do you know or no? Do you know, Muhammad? What do we do? Hamza, I'm going to make it here. I'm going to write it here. Hamzat wasl and then Hamzat qata.
Yeah.
Sakina. What do we do here? What's the grammar here? You know, Brother Khalid?
Yeah.
Then okay, calm down. Maqsad, do you know?
I can guess.
Go ahead and guess.
Okay, so
Think about it until I come back to you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I know.
You know?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Sir, Rahat.
Okay.
Ahmed.
When this situation comes, we replace Hamza Qata with one of the letters of Mad that is similar to the haraka or the movement on Hamzatul Wasl.
That's right. You replace this
Yeah.
with the haraka of Hamzat al-Wasl. This one could be maksura, maftuha, madmuma. So if Hamzat al-Wasl comes before Hamzat al-Qat, we replace this with the similar letter to the haraka. If it's maksura, we just do it. We put it as ya. If it's maftuha, what do we do if it's maftuha?
Wow.
If it's madmuma, wow. That's the question. Next question. Get ready. We need to understand Hamzat al-Qat. So Hamzat al-Qat comes in, I'm going to say the statement, true or wrong. Hamzat al-Qat, it comes in verbs and asma.
Yes,
Is that true?
verb, it says verb and asma. Verb and noun, so.
Noun, verb, and preposition.
I'm going to say the statement again. Hamzat al-Qat. Okay, that's it. Let me just make it easy. Pay attention at the question. Hamzat al-Qat in verbs and nouns تسقط همزة الوصل. When Hamzat, that's confusing for you. That's a very complicated question. Okay, so Hamzat al-Qat, when Hamzat al-Qat comes before Hamzat al-Wasl. Put that as the big picture. Hamzat al-Qat comes before Hamzat al-Wasl. في الأفعال والأسماء, in verbs and nouns, if Hamzat al-Qat comes before Hamzat al-Wasl, in verbs and nouns, تسقط همزة الوصل خطا ولفظا. We don't write Hamzat al-Wasl and we do not pronounce it. In nouns and verbs, if Hamzat al-Qat comes before Hamzat al-Wasl.
That's right.
Is that true or wrong?
Wrong.
True.
No, right.
That's true.
That's true.
True, that's
Who
true.
says wrong?
Me.
Give me the right answer.
It's only for the verbs, right?
For both, for nouns and verbs. I just deleted that. So if Hamzat al-Qat comes before Hamzat al-Wasl in verbs and nouns, you do not pronounce Hamzat al-Wasl and you don't write it down. You just keep Hamzat al-Qat.
And you make it maftuh.
Yes. And lam al-ta'rif. So right now we have af'al, asma. And what about in lam al-ta'rif? Al-ta'rif. If Hamzat al-Qat comes before Hamzat al-Wasl in al-ta'rif. What's the grammar in here?
You keep Hamzat al-Wasl and you make qat. Hamzat al-Qat.
That's the thing that you mentioned. You keep Hamzat al-Wasl and you have two options to make it Hamzat badal or Hamzat Tasheel. So right now I'm going to start really quick. We are going to cover this topic very quickly, inshallah. Hamzat al-Wasl. So right now, you know Hamzat al-Wasl. We spoke about Hamzat al-Wasl and al-Qat. The introduction, you have some knowledge about it. And right now, Hamzat al-Wasl. In Arabic, همزة الوصل هي همزة غير أصلية. It's not an original همزة. همزة غير أصلية يؤتى بها للتمكن من البدء بالساكن. We bring it up in the speech just to be able to start with the ساكن. تثبت في بدء الكلام. You pronounce it, you find it there. في بدء الكلام at the beginning of the word or the speech. وتسقط في وصله. That's the comprehensive definition of همزة الوصل. Examples of examples. Can you see all? Can you see the side? تثبت. So if we read it, it's not an original hamza, and we only just bring it up only to be able to start the word if the word starts with a second. And so that means if the word doesn't start with second, you don't need hamzat al-wasl. So why do we bring it? Why we just make it up? Why? Just to start with the second, because we cannot start with the second. So we bring it before the second. It is firm, like in the beginning. In the beginning, you pronounce it ثابتة of the speech when you start the speaking, and false like تسقط. You don't, يعني خلاص, it falls down when you continue. You don't pronounce it anymore. Examples. Let me tell you here. الذين. If you look at the lam is one sakina, right? And basically, if you see the some few, they think it's hamza. It's not hamza. It's just like a. That's how they used to write it down. يعني the lam, the kaf, the lam and the kaf. That's how they write it. That's not hamza. It's like a decoration to differentiate that from the dal. Like sometimes because in different calligraphies. That's dal. You see, if it has that, that's lam. That's why this thing, lam and kaf, في الخطوط and calligraphy, we use that just to differentiate it from some types of calligraphies. So الذين, look at the lam. لام الساكنة. الذين. We brought the hamzat al-wasl because we cannot start with lam. So this hamzat al-wasl, it's not original. We brought it there to be able to start الذين. Why? Because the lam is sakin, and you cannot start with sakin. قلنا همزة الوصل كما قلنا همزة يؤتى بها للتمكن غير أصلية، يؤتى بها للتمكن من بدء الكلام بالساكن، وتثبت في بدء الكلام وتسقط في وصله. يعني أنها it's not original. We just bring it before the word if the word starts with sakin. لام الساكن, so we bring the همزة الوصل to be able to start. Because we start الذين آمنوا. الذين آمنوا. If there's another word here, it falls. It's تسقط. You don't pronounce it anymore when you continue. Okay?
Is that the same that we have there? Bismillah ar-Rahman?
That's bismil. When you say bismil, bismi, you said bismi. I raised the kasra. Bismil. You jump from the mim to the lam. Bismil. Why didn't you pronounce the hamzat al-wasl? Because Hamzatul wasl is not an original hamza. It only comes when if you start. Let's start from the word Allah. Allah. You pronounced it. Why? Because the lam here is sakin. You see the lam. You cannot start with the lam. Okay? So that's an example right here. And you all recite or read this word every day. Ihdina. Ihdina. Ihdina as-sirati. Read Surah Al-Fatiha and do not stop before this word. Continue. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu. Say إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Say إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين and continue. You stopped. Let me see. مقصد say إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. But don't stop at the word استعين. You jump to the next one. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Which slide? سورة الفاتحة. إياك نعبد.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
No, you said
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
عين.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
Say it out loud. نهدنا. Why didn't you say the همزة الوصل? Why didn't you say إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا? Say that. I'm coming back.
Yeah, when you stop, then you can pronounce it.
That's good.
If you don't stop, then
You're right.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
It's not نستعين. نستعين فعل مضارع.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
نستعين اهدنا.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
اهدنا الصراط. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
نستعين.
اهدنا.
When you mention the dhamma, just try to make dhamma. نستعين.
نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
Brother Khalid.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
Start. Yeah.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
When you say نستعين, ضمة, نستعين,
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
It's not نستعين اهدو. نستعين أنا. نستعين.
نعبد وإياك نستعين.
نستعين.
نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
You are not making the dhamma. That's the trick. You should move your mouth when you recite any ayah. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا. Everything comes perfect when you move your mouth. Try to move your mouth.
I will stop.
Try it.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
You're not making the dhamma. The lips should come out when you say the dhamma.
Because he used to say nasta'in always. It's hard to say nasta'in.
I will stop.
Try it. That's why we need this class to fix the tajweed. Say نستعين.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
It's easy.
It's easy to stop.
Easy to stop, but it's also easy to continue. Yusuf.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
محمد.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
Good. ثالث. إياك نعبد. Continue. وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا. سنستعين نهدنا. نستعين نهدنا. سيد ضمة. نستعين نهدنا. نستعين نهدنا. نرشد. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
ها؟ صح ومعنا.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا.
Perfect. ها صار.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا.
ها.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط.
ها. Nursheen, start with the word with this word. Read it. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Stop there.
Start where?
Stop on the word نستعين.
Stop.
إياك نعبد.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Continue.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
You said اهدنا. You pronounce the hamza. You said اهدنا. مكسورة. You اهدنا. Why is it مكسورة? That's the tricky question right there. Why the hamza is مكسورة? Because it's sakina basically. Why is it مكسورة? When you start, you said اهدنا. Why is it مكسورة? Why did you make the hamza وصل مكسورة?
دال مكسور.
The third letter was مكسورة, so I looked up.
That's right. And because
the start of the sukun.
you can't, yes. But there's like also a legitimate reason, like the perfect reason.
You know, all it does is start with sakin. So when you start with sakin, so
You cannot start with second, but why don't we add the fatha?
because it's you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something, so you take kasr, you come from down. You know, like,
That's من الإعجاز القرآني. But also one more thing. Because anybody knows
Because
that is maksura, but there's one more reason.
You know, when you lower the
It's verb. It's verb. اهدنا verb. فعل أمر. اهدنا افعل. It's a command. It's أمر. It has to be
وزن الفعل يعني.
ها؟
وزن الفعل يعني.
على وزن فعل اهدنا. اهدي. اهدنا.
وزن افعل يعني.
افعل. It's a verb. So a command verb, it has to, remember we mentioned that.
Right, yeah.
The verb starts with hamzat wasl maksura. Because I'm going to bring some examples tonight. The third letter is not maksur. And the hamzat wasl is maksura. So you have to think about that. The verb should start with the hamzat wasl maksura. And then I think that's good for DC. And همزة الوصل همزة الوصل comes الأفعال والأسماء والحروف. Also.
Didn't you say if you start with hamzat wasl, then it's hamzat qat'a?
The sound.
The sound.
It sounds like that, but it's همزة وصل. The sound.
It becomes.
Yeah. Also, why is it همزة وصل? Why? You know why is it همزة وصل? Because the past tense is hada. How many letters? 3. There's a grammar in Arabic language. If the past tense is 3, original 3, any hamza in the word, any derivatives of this word is wasl. Hada, al-huda, ihdina, ihdina. Any word that you derive from huda, it is hamzat wasl. Islam, al-Islam, huh? I know this is not an Arabic class, but take this home with you. Aslama. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, not because it has hamzat qata in here, because it's 4 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the past tense is 4. Any hamza in any word that's derivative from this word, it's qata. Because it's ruba'i, 4 letters in the past tense.
Aslama, aslam.
Yeah, it has to be hamzat qata. Okay, inshallah. So, hamzat al-wasl comes on nouns, verbs. And the first interesting thing I want you to know today is this. حركة همزة الوصل عند البدء بالفعل. همزة You will see right now an exception for the af'al, as I told you. See right now we're coming to the part when we see a lot of differences. We said like it has to be what? Maksura. Right now we're talking about the exceptions. And those exceptions in Hamzatul Wasl. The first exception, read it carefully. We read it with Dhamma, Madmuma, نقرأها بضمة. When you start with the verb, if the third letter has an original Dhamma. What does that mean? I'm going to give you some examples here. أركض برجلك هذا مغتسل بارد وشراب. Do you say إركض? إركض. Yeah, we write them down and then we can discuss them, inshallah. ادعو إلى سبيل ربك
أضمم.
ها؟
ضم أضمم.
ضم عارف.
No, I mean like الفعل أضمم. أضمم.
Oh, I'm not talking about the fact.
No, I know. But I mean, أضمم is ضم عارض. أضمم.
Yeah. صح. Like examples here.
يمشوا.
You said imshu.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's not right. Yeah. We are going to discuss that. So if you can read it, يعني I'm trying to make it so easy so you don't even need my explanation. We read it with Dhamma, Hamzat al-Wasl. When you start with the verb, if the verb has the third letter, Ma'moom, or with original Dhamma. When you say original Dhamma, Dhamm Asli, that means there's like an original Dhamma. So, and it's called Dhamm Arab. You have an original Dhamm Asli and an original Dhamm Arab. Arab means like it just came for a reason. Because of something caused it. So these examples, if you look at them, Irkud. Irkud. If I read it as it is, Irkud. Irkud. I'm going to read it as it is, like right now. The way I wrote it down. Irkud. Irkud. That's how it is written down. Irkud. Can you say that, Ahmed?
Arkud.
No. Irkud.
Arkud. Arkud.
No, copy my. Irkud.
Arkud.
You're not saying it. Okay. So that's how you say it. Irkud. But you see, it's hard. So, right now you have the option to read it with Dhamma. Because the third letter has Dhamma, and this Dhamma is an original Dhamma. Nothing caused it. It's right there. And you're gonna tell me, how do I know it's original or not original? I put that down in here. So we are going to explain that in here. So how do you say it? Orkuld. 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 برجلك. Here. ادعوا. 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 It's hard. So you say ud'u. Ud'u. Easy. A lot of people, they make a mistake when they recite this ayah. وَمَثَلُ شَجَرَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ كَشَجَرَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ. And when they stop, you know, the Qur'an, I hear them. They say, اجتثت because خلاص. يعني they don't know the grammar in here for the hamazat, because they know only the tajweed. The hamazat's not, it's like, يعني most of the Qur'an, when they teach tajweed, it's not, they don't explain the hamazat because they don't know the hamazat. The hamazat is a very deep topic, but you need to know them. So I hear them when they say, كَمَثَلِ شَجَرَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ اجتثت, and they think they're doing so good, but that's not right. That's wrong. اجتثت من فوق الأرض. Subhanallah. Even when you say اجتثت, the verb doesn't make any sense. Very soft. اجتثت, يعني it's really a huge thing. اجتثت من فوق الأرض. Even the sound. So the right way is اجتثت, not اجتثت.
The same meaning, but same meaning?
If you read it اجتثت, that's a different meaning. It's not a word in Arabic.
Okay.
It's not a word in Arabic. اجتثت, that's the correct word. You see some people, they recite, as I said, but they don't know the grammar of the hamazat. They say كَمَثَلِ شَجَرَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ اجتثت من, and they recite with beautiful voices, but you know they make a huge mistake in here. اجتثت. وانظر إلى حمارك وانظر إلى عظامك كيف ننشزها ثم نكسوها لحما. And then انظر, some they say انظر إلى العظام كيف انظر, and they think they're doing so good, but they're not doing so good.
So there are two different words then, huh?
انظر.
So there are two different words then.
There's no, this is the correct word. The other word is not in Arabic.
Okay.
There's no indur. There's like anzirni. There's no indur. No. Huh? The end of Surah Al-Sajdah.
وانتظروا إنا منتظرون.
ويقولون متى هذا
فتح وكنتم
صادقين.
فالذين كفروا ولا هم
ينظرون.
فأعرض عنهم
وانتظر. If you وانتظر, if you continue, you don't pronounce the Hamzat al-Wasl. If you start with انتظر or وانتظر إنهم منتظرون, that's the next case. It's going to be انتظر إنهم منتظرون. So the third letter has Dhamma, and it's an original Dhamma. You have to start with Dhamma. original, because some of the verbs, they have non-original dhamma. How? Imshu. I said imshu, so I can trick you. Imshu. Imshu is not right. It is umshu. Umshu. The dhamma here, we did not say that. We did not start with dhamma because the dhamma is original. No. I said here urkud because the dhamma is original here. But I said here umshu, not because we have dhamma. So pay attention to this because it's a little bit tricky. Yeah. I said here u because you have the hamza in, the dhamma in here. Urkud. And I said here umshu, not because of this. It's not because of that. The commanding verb, you see this? That's just urkud, one person. One person. The verb umshu for one person, imshi. Imsh. When I tell you imshi, I tell you imsh, not imshi. Imsh. Imsh. So, urkud, one person. If I say it plural like this, urkudu. Still the third letter is original dhamma. Here, but I'm actually telling you to look just at the singular verb, urkud. Umshu, this dhamma is not original. Because bring it to the commanding verb for one person, imsh. The sheen is maksur, so imshi, imsh. So why did we put the dhamma in there? So dhamma here is not original. It's dhamm arab. Just like, we just put it there. Why? It's called لمجانسة الحرف الذي يليها في الجمع. لمجانسة, just like to make it sound easy and good when you make the verb plural. Because the next letter it's wow. Mujanasa, to make it similar to the next letter. So let's imagine, let's apply the grammar in here. So the sheen, basically the sheen, it's what? Maksur. Let's imagine, khalas. We're not gonna put the not original dhamma in there. Try to say it. Imshu. Imshu. And you have the dhamma in there. Imshu. It's very, imshu. That's hard. Imshu. I come to you, hey, khalas. Hey guys, imshu.
Imshu.
Khalas, I think, hey, you have a disability or something. So, no. So if I say imshiyu, that's hard for the mouth too. You're gonna use a lot of muscles. So what do we put the dhamma in there? That's not original dhamma. That's just dhamma because the next letter is waw. Mujanasatan lil waw. Umshu. You see, umshu. Umshu. You don't say imshiyu. So, same thing as
Ubnu.
Ubnu. Ibnu means like build, not ibn. Ibn with sukun here, it's ibn, son, walad.
Ibni.
With kasra, build. Ibni.
two harakat تصير my son.
With two harakat there, my son. But here is ibn. When you say ibn, build, it's kasra. But why did we put the dhamma? When we put the dhamma, when we make it plural. Okay? Same thing here. When I tell you, اقضي حاجتي. اقضي, hey, اقضي حاجته, اقضي حاجتي. اقضي. And اقضي حاجتي. But if you stop, اقض. So it's kasra, but we don't put the kasra in here. We put dhamma, and the dhamma, as we said, examples of non-original dhamma. You see that? Why? Because of the next letter, the jam'. Waw al-jam'. It's called the waw of jama'a, the waw of plural. Mujanasah li waw al-jama'a. Okay, inshallah. And, huh? So you get that? I'm going to erase this.
So we can we put dhamma on Hamza
And where?
instead of just leaving that like alif and then sad?
Which word? This one?
First word.
Here?
Yeah.
Can you put the dhamma where?
No, on the alif.
The alif?
Yeah.
You don't have to put the dhamma, but you pronounce the dhamma.
No, why can't we put that? It will be easier for everyone.
Because if you put the dhamma in there, if you continue from the ayah before, you will change the meaning. You cannot say it. Because if you put the dhamma,
Then you have to pronounce it, right?
if you put the dhamma and you write it down, you have to pronounce the dhamma even if you continue. But if we continue, basically, you don't need to pronounce the entire alif. But if you have the dhamma in there, you're forcing me to pronounce the alif with the dhamma, even if I continue. You see that? That's the issue.
Is that only in Quran or like in writing?
Also outside.
Outside.
Yes.
Could be a shata, alladina.
Yes. Then. Yeah. Then. Any letter after. Al. That's right. There's shadda as well. Yes. Al-lam has shadda. That's right. Huh. Right now, this is so easy inshallah. حركة همزة الوصل عند البدء بالفعل. حركة همزة الوصل
Different one? Is that what you just did, right? That's the same one.
Yes, okay. That's, but this is like another one. That's the فعلا same thing, yeah, same thing, but different cases. That's only that's just like a single case right there, just one. And here we have another case. So it's just the same thing. حركة, the move on همزة وصل when starting with a verb. If I have to mention this because you need to know this. That's Sibawayh and this is Madhab al-Farrahi. هذا مذهب الفراي والخليل بن أحمد الفراهيدي. You will be surprised now. You have to know both opinions, and this is the opinion I'm going to tell you how you read it. Same thing as this one. ما هو الترجيح باللغة؟ consensus ترجيح الإجماع.
إجماع consensus.
والترجيح preferred. opinion. So you add the kasra here. It's when you start, inshallah, as I said, عند البدء, when we start, when starting with the verb, we're still continuing. اصبر, اكشف, you add the kasra when you start. But if you don't start, you're not gonna pronounce the Hamzat Wasl anyways. So Hamzat al-Wasl is only pronounced when you start with the word. If the third letter has fatha, you add what? Kasra at the beginning if you start. استغفر لهم أو لا تستغفر.
Fatha.
Yes, that's fatha, and you add kasra if you start. So you see this? These are three. If the third letter in the verb has kasra or fatha, original, you add kasra. Okay? Where's the first letter in here?
Qaf. Not ta.
Qaf.
Ta.
The qaf has dhamma, but I said maftuh. Ta shadda. Shadda means two tas. The first one is sakin. The third, the second one is maftuha. So it's maftuha, maftuha. So مكسور مفتوح original كسر original فتحة خلاص you add just كسر. Right now, same thing as I explained here. That's an opinion of some of the ulama, but the father of the Nahu, he said, يعني the fluent Arabic people a long time ago, they put kasra in here, even if there's dhamma. Well, this is how you say it. You do not say imshiyu. He said تسكن الواو امشوا. And this is الراجح, القول الراجح لأبو الخيل. If we have Abu Khalid al-Farahidi and different ulama, and if the opinion of any alim contradicts with Abu Khalil, we take Abu Khalil. That's it, because he's the master. He was the master of the al-ilm. He was the father. Imshu. You do not say imshiyu. Imshu. Ibnu. Iqdu. Itu. When you start, remember? Ituni. 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 In Surah كسر امشي.
فعل الامر مشى.
امشي.
مشى فعل الماضي مشى.
Yeah. So بالفعل الامر امشي. امشي. Because مشى الالف الاخير هذيك not original. هذيك فقط you add it if you, when you say the ماضي. لكن امشي يعني امش. امش. شين should be مكسورة. But the dhamma here is not just original, it's just like non-original dhamma. We just added the dhamma because of the waw, al-mujanasa, to just make it sound يعني متجانس.
Harmonial.
Harmonial, yes, okay. Write that down, I'm going to erase that really quick. So to summarize that, حركة همزة الوصل, the حركة of همزة الوصل. الضم. Let me ask a question. Let's see who's paying attention. Really quick, without looking at the board. Look at me without looking at the board. حركة همزة الوصل. The move of همزة الوصل عند البدء. When we start with the speech, when we start with the word, we add ضمة to همزة الوصل. We add ضمة when. Do we add ضمة to همزة الوصل? Do we add ضمة to همزة الوصل when we start?
Yeah.
Third letter.
Yes.
But you did not say
No,
yes.
we don't add, but we pronounce it.
Yeah, we pronounce the ضمة when.
When the third letter has a dhamma.
ضمة? You said if the third letter has ضمة? Are you
ضمة
sure?
أصلية.
ضمة?
Original dhamma.
ضمة أصلية, original ضمة. So if the third letter has original ضمة, you add ضمة. You pronounce the ضمة to the to همزة الوصل.
Everything else, كسرة.
Everything else is كسرة. Just take that. Allah, you made it so easy. So, if the third letter of the verb has ضمة, original ضمة, you add the ضمة. You pronounce the همزة الوصل with ضمة. The rest are كسر. Subhanallah. What about if you start with the asma?
But Hafs, you make them, right? Like you do
The second one, this one?
like ابن or امشوا.
No, حفص يتبع حفص فاضل أبو الخير فرايدي.
امشي.
Yes.
ضمن
هؤلاء أغلبهم في شرق آسيا العلماء، لكن لأنه كان صعب عليهم. It was hard for them to say it like the Khalil, imshu. It's hard, so they say umshu. So let's just take Hafs. Let's take the preferred opinion, the kasra. This thing just to let you know, we have another opinion, but don't take it. Take the other one. So everything is kasra. We add kasra to hamzat al-wasl, except one condition, one case. If the third letter has original dhamma. What about?
Can we say if the commanded verb has a kasra?
Give me any verb. Any verb will fall into one of those categories. Any verb.
Ukul. Ukul.
Ukul. That's not verb. Give me a verb.
يأكل. يأكل.
يأكل. يأكل. Where's the hamzat wasl? There is no hamzat wasl. Give me a verb with hamzat wasl.
So how do we know which word is a verb?
It's right there. Isbir. Yeah, give me any word. Any word.
انصر انصر اخاك الله.
That's ضمها أصلية.
اسكت.
كيف؟ ضمها اسكت. That's not right. ضمها أصلية. اسكت. Do not say اسكت.
اسكت.
Yeah, that's not right. Maybe in Sudan do you say اسكت?
No.
اسكت.
How do you say it?
Ascot.
No, no, when you command somebody.
Ascot.
You tell them اسكت. Oh, اسكت. Subhanallah.
مش جاي اسكت ما في اسكت.
That's يعني it's so amazing subhanallah. اسكت يا زول. اسكت يا زول يعني
مين
اسكت انا اسكت but his يعني in Arabic اسكت myself like I'm being silent. But subhanallah in the Sudani accent like اسكت يعني he's commanding someone else to be silent. I just remembered subhanallah when our teacher اسكت يا زول. So how about Hamzat al-Wasl? When you start with Hamzat al-Wasl with nouns, بالأسماء.
It's a good topic for next week, mashallah.
You just write like a sentence. Just put like a sentence right there, down there. It's so easy. In nouns, in أسماء, في الأسماء, in all nouns, when you start with Hamzat al-Wasl, it has to be maksura. That's it. With Hamzat al-Wasl in nouns, it has to be maksura all the time. In nouns, if you start with a noun, the noun has Hamzat Wasl, it has to be maksura all the time, no exceptions. Any example? Can you give me an example? So in nouns, what did you say?
استعارة.
No, she said ism, perfect, yes. Ism. Ism maksura. Another one?
استعارة.
استعارة? استعارة. استعارة, okay, yes. Because استعارة, there's no word استعارة.
استعارة, you know.
استعارة.
To borrow something.
So you got the sentence. With the nouns, if you start with Hamzat al-Wasl in a noun, it has to be maksura all the time, no exceptions. Maksura. Examples, let me just give you the examples, that's it. You can just write them down in there. Nouns. And as I said, Hamzat al-Wasl, it doesn't have the fatha, kasra, dhamma. You just pronounce it with kasra when you start. But if you put the kasra in here, you're gonna make it original. You have to stop. You have to make it Hamzat qat. So do not write that kasra here. Do not write it down. When I actually put the dhamma in here, that is, you read it only, but you don't write it there. If you write any word. Istikbara. one more thing. Because we don't want to spend a lot of time on Hamazat.
We did already.
Because it's either to wait for 2 minutes so we can finish. So that's the noun. How about خلاص, just like a question? We're done by a question. How about like همزة الوصل?
الحروف.
إن الحروف. همزة الوصل في الحروف.
فتى.
If you start همزة الوصل with الحروف. So those examples for the nouns. What about the grammar for the حروف? الحروف, I'm not talking about alphabets. حروف. Let me tell you this. Let's start with this. همزة الوصل. Does همزة الوصل come in حروف? I just mentioned that like at the beginning of today's lecture.
You said it does.
همزة القطع, it's always in حروف. The حروف, all the حروف, if the حرف has همزة, it has to be همزة قطع, except one حرف, ألا التعريف. So you just put that as a note. Put that as a note. Huh? Down. So you leave some space for those examples and go down. This is what you write down. All the حروف in Arabic, همزتها, the همزة is قطع. All the حروف have همزة قطع except one حرف, ألا التعريف. Put that, ألا التعريف. So all the حروف in Arabic have همزة قطع. Like إلا. All the حروف. إلى. إلا. All the حروف همزة قطع except one حرف, ألا التعريف. You see ألا التعريف, ال شمسية قمرية. That's not قطع, that's وصل. So all the حروف in Arabic, they have همزة قطع except التعريف. التعريف, which is شمسية وقمرية. همزتها, the همزة is وصل. And it is always مفتوحة. همزة الوصل of ألا التعريف, the letter of ألا التعريف, always مفتوحة. Always مفتوحة means like it has فتحة. Okay, so the حروف, the letters in Arabic, they have همزة قطع, all of them. Except one letter, التعريف, has همزة وصل. And it has to be what? مفتوحة. Give me an example. A noun starts with همزة وصل. Muhammad. Any word starting with
المسجد.
المسجد. البيت.
الرحمن.
Give me another word.
الشمس.
Give me any word that starts with
الرحمن.
That's همزة وصل. فتحة. همزة الوصل has to be مفتوحة in ألا التعريف. Okay, you get that? You can put any word as an example. Okay, put any word as. The last thing, خلاص, last sentence, we're done. خلاص, I promise you, I'm done. Because next time we need to continue to المدود, المد الجازم, خلاص. تنبيه, this one is just like a تنبيه. So it's just like, you know, pay attention. حركة الراء, the movement of the ra. حركة الراء من كلمة امرؤ. حركة الراء. That shouldn't be just like ضمن. امرؤ. That word, just that's tanbih. It's called just, hey, pay attention at this word. Because sometimes the ra, yani, the qurra or like those People, they don't know how to read this word. Is it Imru'ul Qais? That's at the beginning. What about if it's in the middle?
Inimru'un.
Inimru'un. It's tricky, yeah. How? So I'm going to tell you right now. Imru, this word specifically, the ra, usually, letters, they follow whatever comes before them, the sound. The ra in this word specifically follows the harakah of the following letter.
Wow.
If the letter that comes after the ra, madmuma, it has to be madmuma. If the letter after the ra, imri, maksura, ra maksura. So the ra, in this word specifically, you put this as a note, this word. The ra always follows the harakah of the following letter. And what I mean by the harakah, look, harakatul i'rab. That's tough. Harakatul i'rab, like, in khalas, just put the harakah. Anyways. Because I need to explain the i'rab. What about the hamza? Hamzat al-wasl. That's why I brought this up, because it has hamzat wasl. It has hamza. So look, here, the ra, madmuma. And that's hamzat wasl. In asma, remember, like, what's the grammar of the asma? Al-asma, what did we say about the asma? Okay. The ra, madmuma. Because of the next letter is madmuma. Hamzat al-wasl, think about it. I'm going to give you just 5 seconds to think about it. Try to read it. Read it.
It's an ism, so you have to be careful.
Even if the ra madmum,
Because it's ism.
start, yalla.
It's ism.
Start with that word. Start with hamzat al-wasl.
In the beginning, or just like...
No, start with hamzat al-wasl. You see that?
But depending on what the tashkeel, if you want me to say umru or umra'ah.
Hamzat al-wasl doesn't have tashkeel.
No, I mean the word, the ra.
The ra is madmuma. Madmuma, as we said, madmuma because...
But ism, yeah, written, so
Imru'ul Qais, as you said. Read that. Umru'ul Qais.
umru'ul Qais. Bomb.
I'm going to give you Imru'ul Qais. Imru'ul Qais. I'm not going to tell you. How do you read that? Start with that. Yeah.
Imru'ul Qais.
Imru'ul Qais.
You start with it. Do not continue. Don't think that you are pronouncing something before. You just start with hamzat al-wasl directly.
Imru'ul Qais.
The ra muraqqaqa or mufakhama? Think about it. Yeah, the ra has dhamma.
Imru'ul Qais.
You said imri'ul Qais. That's basically a Sudani imru'ul Qais. That's ra is Sudani ra. I need
Imru'ul Qais.
Imru'ul Qais.
Do you start with
Imru'ul Qais.
I'm going to tell you who's right at the end.
Umru'ul Qais.
Umru'ul Qais,
Depends.
Depends on what? Haraka on what?
Umru'u or umri'i, because it's a different...
How do you read that? I just want you to read that.
Umru'ul Qais.
Muhammad.
Umru'ul Qais.
Yusuf.
Imru'ul Qais.
Imru'ul Qais.
Khalid.
Umru.
Yusuf.
Umrul Khais.
Sad.
Imru'ul Qais.
Ahmad.
I'm thinking.
Nurshi.
Sit down.
Tala. عماد.
If it's a noun, it's imru'ul qais. Imru'ul qais.
Should be مكسورة.
So
Surah, it's
that's right. So the hamzat al-wasl in the word, in this word specifically in the Arabic language, this is a critical word. Just it has its own rules. You have to start with kasra, no matter what. So how do you say it? Do not make the ra muraqqa. Say imru, imru'u. So some of you they said umru'u, some of you they said imru'ul. No, it's imru'u, imru'u, imru'ul qais. So al-kalima, just this word only. يبدأ, you have to start with مكسورة دائما. For example, امرأة سوء, امرأة سوء. إن امرؤ هلك ليس له أخ أو أخت. الراء, it's very hard because the ra is مضمومة. Because it's so hard to say they make the ra مرققة, but it is مفخمة. لكل امرئ إن شاء الله. That's just like studying because of مد البدل.